Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to this Norwegian series here on the Northwest channel, the Sognsdal Saga, where I mention Norwegian because, you know it's Norwegian these days, but we still maintain the traditions that is Norse, such as all of these. And I am starting to, wish that we would get into the early medieval era now, but it says not yet reached by the Northmen, because we're still, quite behind. In which in about a couple of years, which will no doubt will happen under my reign, we'll finally have the ability to build cities and temples, which I don't think it's possible under tribal government. No, not possible for these kind of holdings. So I'm looking to sooner or later get out of this hold faith in a long term. I mean, I have a long life to go. Because, this is near the period where the Christianization of Scandinavia would be occurring. If not, then it'll be on the 1100s. So says the description of the missionaries mod. That's one of the things I use. Yes. So I'm thinking about getting out of the old faith and convert to Catholicism whenever I gain a lot more piety. That's my intent in future. But when exactly, don't know. But I'm willing to expand a little bit, since I think I would be back on the offensive instead of just sitting there being content with what we have, at least in these parts of Scandinavia and all that. But first, as I was just doing a little bit of thinking in my mind, we gotta send out these expeditions. So, 85% chance of success on the whale hunt this time for Torgeir here. Which is due to, obviously the high prowess, but the good martial and learning combination, and the little bit of average stewardship, which is good for once, because these last two rulers of my mother and my grandmother, they were never very good at stewardship. But I am to some degree, including I have this Native American trinket now. So we'll sponsor a whale hunt right now. And then go support Greenland. Always go for these. It's just increase its resilience. Plus, more success with these wars hunts that we'll be organizing in it. 95% chance of success because of stewardship and diplomacy. Especially diplomacy. Go for it. And then we will send another expedition to the west, to Vinland, in an attempt to increase its viability. Half-sister of mine's already explored it before, but I have someone else in mind. My eldest, Torfi. I hope he has what it takes to make it a success. So, we will appoint as expedition leader, as he'll accept it. Well, it's good to know that you can't tell other people to be divorced or whatever. It's just I was looking at an option earlier when the previous episode we were dealing with Indian prisoners. And also, with the large amount of money and prestige that I have, I shall, for the first time, commission an epic. that my family history contains many tales of great success and honor. If any of those were composed into a single story, it would certainly reflect very well on myself. So it may receive a family epic artifact. Time to start composing. What I need is a classical tale of grandeur of my family. A song about the origins of the Sognsdal Dynasty and how we are destined for greatness. I only need someone who knows how to tell the story. Godman, the accomplished storyteller. He is a scholar. Try to remember those who are under house arrest. And those who are heirs to anything. Even though we can't recruit them just yet, but one day I'll recruit them once they reach adulthood. Same for him. And for him as well. Which is why I am looking to have more children and more daughters. So in my free time, I will seduce all of my wife and my woman. All three of them. No lovers, just lay with each and every one of them that I'll be doing in my free time because I'm that kind of man. But keep in mind, this is due to the fact that I'm a patriarch. I am the man of the house. You got that? Now, let's get down. No. Don't say that. Let's do it because recently there was a famous person that passed away a couple of days ago, and I will say his catchphrase before we hit on pause here, and that's, let's get it on! Gee, that was quick. A week later, the whalers have finally come. So, okay. 220! Then I lose a bit of stress because I am diligent. Yes, as a reminder, I am honest, impatient, but diligent. And all of that. My family epic seems to be progressing well. And some lines already sound like they'll be quoted for decades to come. But Goodwin has a lot of questions about the focus of the story. It would be easy to answer if he wrote it all first, and I could tell him what I dislike about it. But he insists that he needs answers now. It is a family history, so be generous. We'll gain more renown when the epic is done. Not only because we're renown intensive these days, but the days of my grandmother and my mother seems to be mythical in a sense based on her accomplishments, so this is why I am here. Independence faction. Well, I'll have that dealt with in a moment. Thank you. Yes. Yeah. You can have it back. Doesn't stand to inherit anything. 1 second. That's the best you got? Forced my relative serves concubine and forced my relative into blasphemous union. Well, I'm sorry that it offends you, but I'm gonna make you spy master, and here's the money, and all I can say is shut your mouth and let's play a friendly game of Henefetapa. Good one has taken a number of liberties in my family epic in regards to warfare and battles. It makes for dramatic scenes, but I worry my Torgeir has been offended as he furrows his brow at a particular scene. I'm almost relieved that he finally shared his thoughts. That's all nonsense, but this part with the magical sword is giving me some ideas. Oh, you mean this magical sword? The sword of the Valknut? Which was my grandmother's sword? And this is made on its handle is a branch of the sacred tree from the temple of Uppsala. Repair that, I may have some use for this thing. And since I'm prone to stress these days, repair that convenient back scratcher. I'm going to need that as well. Reduces the stress gain. Just in case. I want to keep that around. That's an old sack and brooch. Wherever inspiration can be found, we should use it. Upon completion, we'll receive an epic book artifact which improves combat advantage. The arrow Kitu takes a seat opposite me. Our little game of Enrichment was about to begin. A scornful smirk tells me how confident my vassal is. He goes first, opening with such a devious ruse that I'm left speechless. We're neck and neck, though neither of us close to victory. Do they think they appoint some kind of king of games? Very simple, scratching your sin. I feel like I'm working towards that title already, you see. I'll have you. Match marches on. Continue a decent move and a firm grip. Naturally, my technique's cunningly form my opponent. I'm in the lead for now. Nearest close victory. My opponent gives a kind of sound. You're doing so well. Keep it up. If you try to move that piece, you're getting decked. With a roar of triumph, I surged to my feet, scattering pieces everywhere. The game of Enrichment is mine. Another victor in my indisputable rise toward the role of the king of games. At death to remain seated, I was trying to comprehend where you went wrong. Love to play again sometime. See? Can all get along. Slovaci Hrvatsky. In other words, it's Croatian and Slovene. Slovak Croatian. That's what that is exactly. They took the Coney raids from the Croats, and same for astute diplomats. They do that too. And Pronija is Vojnici, men at arms. That is a South Slavic thing, and also as part of the other mod that I use. Hereditary hierarchy, I believe that's from the Mountaineer Ruleism. That's also from the Slovaks. So anyways, they're off. He's off to Vinland. Best wishes to you. Father, these cursed children, my lord Satya, as Commander heard, is all caught red-handed and snuck into the armory. Don't they know that weapons are dangerous? Satya was apprehended by a servant he had knocked over the suit of armor while looking for bandages for his, which Wu had heard himself. It seems that Satya is fond of rash and uninformed plans. Should have admitted your wrongdoing, you brat. I've not been presented with new work on my family epic for weeks. That whole process is either taking too long or ends up doing shoddy work. Is it truly too much to demand that he delivers excellence, that he delivers it now? I will put him up for as long as it takes. Yes, I'm very stressed here, but do not worry. I really want to seduce my wife now, so why should I wait for her when I feel ready? Let's try my chance now. So the seduce scheme has just gained some progress. It's like, come on, I just want to live with my wife so I can have more children. Now, you should go work off some stress, because you're athletic, you know. As I finished yet another lap around my castle, I could feel my worries dribbling me off together with the sweat. Some people say run from my problems, but I say runs towards solutions. Another lap. That's the problem of being diligent. Stress loss is a reduction of stress loss, not increased stress loss. So that means it's a little more difficult to try to get it all down. But keep that. All that. You have no court positions at all. Well then, first things first. Who are you? An Andalusian Mozart. Oh, that's unusual. She's a Weezer, but she'll do. Crud, another son. But, hey, as long as he be betrothed to somebody important, then it'll be all good. Snorri shall be your name. As the scholar of the diplomatic arts, I am well aware of the power of eloquent compliment. I'm showing admiration for a woman's best quality sure path to her. I shall write a letter to Vidas complimenting her. I'm not sure, but I'll say rational, brilliant mind. The compliments are all received. And now, we're off to the wars hunt. Kara, you're good at this sort of thing. Excellent court tutor. And if anybody says anything about this, it's like, hey, why'd you give that guy a position and all that? All I could say is, shut your mouth! Yeah, why not appoint an architect? Because we got things to build in future. Every single person, no matter how good they are, regardless of culture and faith, everyone is gonna get it. Have sister. Best fighter out of all of us here. Not you. If only we have a poet in these parts. Unless one of those people that were imprisoned are poets. Is a poet. Keep looking. Just in case if I miss something. It's like, have we had a poet in prison all along? No. You're fine. And now that we appointed those positions, now we could go hunting. And then we hold a feast. Doesn't cause much stress loss, but every little bit needs help. Especially now that I got a back scratcher, so problems won't do much. A messenger bird brings a message from Torgeir with an update about his expedition to Vinland. Traveling to the edge of the known world is fraught with dangers, but sometimes those dangers are imagined. Torgeir reports an interesting case of this. We recently sent a few members of the expedition to explore inland. The crew returned in haste, screaming about an ambush from inhuman beings. Torgeir ordered everyone to grab their weapons and prepare for battle, possibly to evacuate the area if needed. Then they waited, tensely. No attackers ever came. Yet, those crew members insist they saw something out there that attacked them. Torgeir believes they are not deceiving him. So what happened to them? Did they become insane? Or did they really see something out there? I'm sure there wasn't anything out there, right? So that's a bad outcome. I was thinking neutral, but that's not a good start. Well, let me tell you something. You may be a melancholic fool, but if you're gonna jest like this, I should start paying you. This hunting trip's been less fruitful so far. Some of our party appear to have given up completely or attempting to make the best of the lovely day outside. But what on earth is my vassal Sturd doing? He's crouched down on the ground, humming cheerfully. My lord, look. There are many useful herbs and flowers here. This one can soothe aches, while this one aids the recovery of broken tibia. This one is said to ward off great pox. He keeps babbling on about the plants he collected instead of being on the lookout for prey. Fascinating. What about that flower? That's for future reference when I switch to a learning focus, so I want to gain little. Gunrun is telling my vassal, Lambert, about several exciting details discovered about my ancestors. Now, I believe the part with the magical sword may actually be true, since it is fascinating to be sure, but I say not have a grand song to complete. As for this particular antidote, it should be shared with all my vassals. We return home in disappointment for that hunt. Now we hold a feast, and I just notice there's a vassal war within. What have you done? You idiot. This is all there is. A stranger. A messenger bird brings a message to Torgeir with an update about his expedition to Vinland. While sailing the coastline to an area, Torgeir landed on the beach, only to encounter a woman huddled over a campfire. She did not look Norwegian, or Norske, and wore strange clothes. Despite the language barrier, Torgeir managed to get an idea of what happened to this woman, named Kanozas. She was from a tribe of the Alnabak people, but was separated from her group for some reason and was all alone. Perhaps she was ostracized, or last survivor attacked by enemies, or suffered some other calamity. I wonder, how did Torgeir react to this? Well, he's a zealous antagonist and he's paranoid, so I think he would have got rid of her. Let me see those percentages. You either take the generous option, which there's no way that's going to work because of his low diplomacy skill. But it seems there's only a good chance that does not accept the generosity, or will accept this generosity that provides some supplies or knowledge in return. But if he tries to, you know, but if he wishes to try the other option, where he forcibly took her with him, there's a high chance that she manages to resist a getaway. And 38, 36% chance that fails catch her, but does loot some of her belongings, which I'm sure it's very, very little. Or just go for neutral ending. I'm not sure, because this is his diplomacy challenge against hers, and there's a very little difference. But as far as intrigue challenge against her, wrathful, compassionate, brave, that seems contradictory in those cases. I'm not sure, but if I were him, knowing that he is a zealous, vengeful, paranoid man, I think he would kindly give his supplies. I'm gonna go for this option, which is, I believe, what he would have gone for. He would try to be rational, despite the fact that he does not like people that is not of his faith, let alone a foreigner. I continue reading the message. Connell's house was understandably cautious at first, but eventually she accepted the supplies that Torgeir offered her, whether out of desperation, because she was convinced of Torgeir's good intentions, or both. Connell's house then provided the expedition with a few items in return. Additionally, Torgeir's crew subsequently asked her about this land and her people, the Anabak. Though there was difficulty communicating due to the language barrier, Torgeir believes that Connell's house provided us some useful information that could be a great help in the future if we sent further expeditions to the region. Alright, glad it worked out. It's a good outcome. Oh, let's just hope for another good one. Architect. And profound interest, which is good. Why don't I just talk more about you instead? I was hoping to make 2 friends. The family epic. This song of my family epic is finally complete. Codman has a reason to be proud. My ancestors stand at this court as a shining example of what it means to be a ruler for our time. Even though it drags on a few places, and that part with the magical sword is utterly ridiculous, but I'm proud to keep this in my family library for generations to enjoy and learn from. Masterwork book. What a story history could tell. So there's some renown gained for this. It's a court artifact, but I'm not going to use it because we have far more important books. Don't I have a book that involves diplomacy? No. Okay. I gained a bit of stress because I'm the patriarch. Instead, deserves all the credit. Just to keep these vassals pleased. After all the time Gunnar has spent in my court, and how he's gotten to know me, it feels that she's about to depart. I have other places to go, and other stories that need telling, tries to explain. There's still so much here for you. You can have them. Celebrations come to an end and evenings entertainment seem to be over. Jotnik VIET is suggested a reading. Clerks soon arrives wondering what the guests would like to hear. I would say let's be entertained. Feast of the Endless. And it was a good choice. Another feast to the court. Well, I tried to befriend you, but you didn't, but sure, I got nothing better to do. The journey. Low tide. As I'm preparing to travel to this feast, which is, way down south. So, I go down to the docks of Trondheim to charter a boat. But the captain tells me that due to low tide, he won't be able to safely leave until tomorrow. Oh, this is just... I'll just leave tomorrow. You know, I'm an impatient man and I'm going to be stressed, but look at this thing. Much more reduction of stress gain for the next 5 years. So it'll be worth it. 300 gold for the walrus hunt. I'll read it in a moment. I'm just doing something. Yeah. What else happened? I was in the middle of typing something. 300 gold. While my hunters were tracking down some walrus, they came across the corpse of a narwhal washed up on the beach. This was a very lucky find, as it is difficult to catch these creatures out in the sea. Due to their rarity, many people are uncertain of these creatures' natures. What is certain is that their tusks are believed to have magical properties, believed to have magical properties. This narwhal tusk is now in my possession. Perhaps I could keep this spectacular item for myself. On the other hand, could make quite a bit of money selling it, especially the people from far would pay much to acquire such an exotic product. This is the horn of the narwhal that was hunted down in North Sato in Greenland. Some people believe these creatures are the sea unicorns, speaking of folklore and legends. Many believe these horns have magical and medicinal properties, and as such often command high prices worldwide. I'll keep it for myself. May never know what I'm going to do with that. Alright, I'm here. Alright. What kind of meat is this? So rich and flavor. What are these vegetables almost so sweet? Oh, and these wonderful little desserts. This feast is some of the best food I've ever tasted. Even more stress gain reduction. There, now I feel like my life's been reaffirmed. Dang, that does. Diplomacy per level of fame. So now it's gone way up now. It doesn't take much. Oh no. Mr. Bird is bringing a message called Trophy with an update about his expedition to Vinland. According to Toby, they got caught in a rather terrible storm. So terrible that many of the crew thought they would die then and there. Perhaps Northern heeded their prayers, for the storm eventually cleared. In the aftermath, he noted that he'd lost some of his crew, even a couple of ships. This will undoubtedly hinder their ability to conduct the expedition. And vows they will continue the journey no matter what. Oh, this is a second failure in a row. after extended conversation over a meal, he expresses that he admires I'm able to expound on any length of the topic. He recognizes true intellect, I see. My antiquarian Duna approaches me with a worried expression on her face. My lord, I've grown increasingly concerned about your Rodana's goblet and the state of utter disappearance fell into. It's coming apart. In order to save it, I have a proposal. I've recently won a dusty scroll at dice from a shady character in the traveling fair. A very fortunate deal, since its contents played well into my budding interest in alchemy. The old scroll describes a secret potion that is sure to make any artifact even better than new. Please, let me try it. Sure, can't get any worse than this. My golly, you did it. Also, since that expedition is likely a failure at that point, I'm gonna have to do this. Do not fulfill requirements. Well, we still have to wait for it to return. Got blasted. Ships we sent on an expedition to Vinland have returned. I went to meet Torgeir and asked him about the various adventures he had during the expedition. Unsurprisingly, there was much to tell. Unfortunately, it appears the expedition was ultimately a failure. The expedition was beset by a number of calamities. Torgeir did at least do his best to explore his frontier region, find new resources as well as friendly locals. In the end, we have not acquired any lasting adventures or information that will help the Green Colony. The expedition might have even cost the Green Colony quite a bit in terms of resources and manpower. Oh, I did not want to see that. Vinland's viability decreases by 2 to 19. As a reminder for you people, Vinland's viability is a global value that represents how appealing settling in Vinland for those involved in the colonization agreement. Despite its fame in pop history, Norse did not stay in Vinland for the long term because it was too distant and would have been a waste of resources if it was better spent on a more profitable green. Thus, it'll be a challenge to raise its viability. The main way to raise the viability while the Greenland colonization is active is through two decisions. Either by sending expeditions to Vinland, or if your dynasty has an outpost, and by supporting Vinland. If the colonization of Greenland has been resolved with a good ending, then its viability will increase by random. Small amounts each year until it reaches 50, if it is above that yet. This is a reminder of that. And partly the reason why I say this is because just out of desperation, we're gonna attempt to build an outpost of it. Because too many. Settling in Vinland is not a particularly promising prospect. It is far away and lacking in profitable resources. Regardless, it will take a lot of effort to establish a permanent presence in Vinland. But maybe I can find some settlers up to the challenge. So based on the current struggle phase, as well as its viability, you have an estimated 21% chance of succeeding. It would go down to 19 once it registers. This is why I want to hit it now. If the settlers you send to Vinland succeed, your dynasty will receive the Vinland Outpost modifier. There will be a slight increase or decrease to annual bonuses from your Greenland estate depending on the struggle phase of the colonization. You'll have access to decisions to support Vinland, and expeditions to Vinland will cost less. If successful, its viability will increase, but Greenland's resilience and networks will decrease. If this attempt fails, all these vast values will decrease. Greenland's resilience and networks will decrease every year for each Vinland outpost that is active. And since the colonization agreement has not been resolved with a good ending, so even if you succeed in establishing a permanent outpost, there's a chance that it will fail every year based on its viability. Now, the historical context. Though we have archaeological evidence of a Norse presence in Middle and Newfoundland, it was not a full-fledged settlement. More of a glorified pit stop to repair ships and tools and restock on supplies. Contrary to pop history portrayals of Leif Erikson and his oaks as the equivalents of Viking conquistadors, it is likely that the Norse saw little use in settling Vinland, as it was far away from even Greenland. It had a few useful resources to offer. Any attempt to colonize Vinland would have also drained the limited resources and manpower needed in a much more lucrative Greenland settlements. But all I can say is screw it. I love big risks. Let's do this. This is a once-in-a-lifetime shot, I feel. Vinland is a dream that I will fulfill. I have not been swayed by prophetic arguments about the costliness or risks involved in sailing to this field land thousands of miles away, or how doing so will burden its community. Vinland is a fertile land, perfect for settling, even if it does not have much in the way of valuable resources. I've been able to recruit a few settlers who agree with me, and are eager to prove their bravery and resourcefulness. They'll have to establish a much smaller outpost first in foreign land, and doing so will allow us to set up a base of operations in Vinland for future activity in the region. In future, perhaps the outpost will grow into a proper settlement. I wish them the best of luck, so this endeavor will take approximately 1 year to complete, which is likely going to be a failure anyhow. So, I'm going to need that money now of what I just spent. But you may never know. A 21% chance. Sure, it's likely a failure, but what if this first shot is going to be my luckiest? Alright. Died of heart failure. That's what he gets for being melancholic. Sting of rejection. You're a serene man, Torgeir, but I do not like you that way, says Serge. Only Odin knows what the future might hold for us. Oh, yes, of course. Okay, that was very unlucky. Got a 5% chance. Clearly you've been drinking. Oh, well, I'll seduce you. Can't use that again until some time. Hey! Why have you not chosen your patron deity? There's gotta be something that helps me. Fred, Lord and Protector. Just for fertility reasons. Because I'd like to have more children. More daughters in particular. That's what I would want. Wants to forge a dagger. Okay. I'll give it to that. First time it happened, I barely even gave it a moment's thought. But my vassal here has grown bolder. This challenge is no longer passed unnoticed among my vassals. He's testing my limits. The notice should have fallen unless I give him a taste of his own medicine. He's a fearless zealot. He shall have tasks which are impossible to complete. Gotcha. He tried to complete his task thoroughly, and I scolded him in front of everyone. When he hurried to get done in time, I displayed his sloppy work for all to see. Bent himself backwards to please me. And yet I never acknowledged his efforts. Now he remains quiet, eyes cast low. Cruel, but perhaps it had to be done. Still on recover among the most powerful vassals in my realm. Never know how to keep them happy so they don't go around stirring up trouble. Perhaps flattery is the way to go. I would be pleased to have someone made in their name one day. Just the right thing and making sure let my beneficiary host and know that I am dedicating this masterpiece to trustworthy vassals and advisors. I get it's my art fix. Maybe I should just no. To myself. You converted from Norse to Sami? Okay then. Weren't your parents Sami at one point? Your father was a Sami. Ah, returning to your roots. I'm all for that. Returning to your Sami roots. Constructed a building and a castle holding. Right. Because you live... Well, what the hell is that? Mayor trainee. It's gone for metropolitan. Wow. Assertive, powerful presence. Budding interest. That's good to know. You are... Don't stand to inherit anything. You can go. See, when they reach adulthood, you can recruit them. By the way, you can have them back. Along with their strange goods, merchants bring tall tales from distant lands, unverifiable and full of wonder. A group of English peddlers brought Amar objects, and they say they come from the faraway court of the great Najas Tefri of Ethiopia. Oh. Courtiers leading trader Grinzar. This unique armor could be yours. With a special price, of course, great to come. Likely on indeed. Work from doing it for grants. It is certainly no fake, my liege. No, this work is indeed Ethiopia. Yeah. It's of high quality. Huh, last what? Tripe out with you. Rather stick with this. Knowing this has been improved, but one of these days this armor is going to be improved. Mysteries of the Heroic Sagas. My word, Satya and his little friend Freddy had taken a copy of the Heroic Sagas from the study and brought it into the playroom. Satya tries to read it, but quickly realized that the words were best left at all. Seems safely content with the current inability to understand the deeper meaning of the book. No stress gain because of all these modifiers I have. That means I could get away with anything. Not really. But I will say, respect those words. They hold wisdom and meaning. Oh, he's almost to adulthood. And remember, his father still lives, but it'll be a long time before he'll be betrothed. And I'm gonna need him to stick around. Because he'll be of great importance to me. Ukonisko peasants moved from Vinland to Vinstrom. Vinstrom. What kind of... Old Norse. I see. So there's Norse faithful of that faith, they moved to there. It's religious spread, not peasant migration, I see. What's going on? Whatever you need. I got important matters to attend to. Oh yeah, let's see what happens on the ill-fated attempt on to build that outpost. Alright. You are a fortune builder. You are ill, but you're still here. You don't really speak our language, but you're my courtier, as you are. Once you get better from the illness, I mean, skill-wise, you're not all that good, unfortunately. Silk Road. Again, just stick around. I will protect you. Oh, and make sure you will remain here, because you'll be far more useful as a Damn, I ain't got a clue. I just don't want you to leave. In fact, just keep tabs. News from Vinland. Today I've received news about a recent attempt to establish an outpost in Vinland. Fortunately, the naysayers have been proven wrong, for now. The small band of settlers I sent to bountiful Vinland have successfully established a small outpost. What luck! Perhaps we can even plan on founding a true permanent settlement there one day. But I shouldn't jump ahead of myself. The naysayers are correct, at least that this has been costly. We first need to make sure this outpost develops nicely, so that resources we dedicated to this venture so far are not spent in vain. See what happens next. Apparently, 21% chance of that happening. Thought it was going to fail, but somehow, by the grace of the gods, we done it! So now we gain a Vinland outpost. So now, this dynasty has established a modest outpost in Vinland. They tend to use it as base operations for exploring this lush land. Per each Vinland outpost that exists, Greenland's resilience and networks will decrease by the following amount. 3 in the marginalization phase, 2 in the subsistence phase, 1 in other phases of the causes screen, or have been resolved with a good ending to the maximum of 5. Torgeir has established an outpost in Vinland in the name of our great dynasty, the Sognsdal. It is his hope that we can use this as a springboard for our ambitions in the distant land of legends and myths. Of course, there are quite a number of people who are skeptical of whether such venture would do well in the long term. While Vinland is a lush and fertile land, it is also extremely far from even Greenland, which itself is already far from civilization, and lacking in many profitable resources. We can only hope that the Sognsdal will prevail at the end, and that this Vinland outpost succeeds. We'll see what happens next. Okay, we gotta support this. Put that on. Settling Vinland is costly and risky, even a foolish endeavor. It is home to one outpost, ours. It would be nice to support these outposts, but Vinland is so distant it has little practical value, so this would be a waste of resources better spent on a more lucrative Greenland, right? There's a chance your support will not make it to Vinland, especially if Greenland's resilience is low. The various forms of support will grant you boons like prestige, piety, or beneficial modifiers, but more importantly, increase Vinland's viability. However, they also decrease Greenland's resilience and networks. Sending support is costlier if Greenland's resilience is low. And if colonization of Greenland is currently in the subsistence and marginalization phase. I mean, right now it's, what's that phase again? That we're currently on? 1 second. It's currently on integration. We're not halfway there, so there's still time for it. Now. So it's still the same regarding historical context about this place. So, you gotta have a county in the Nordic Seas region. The colonization agreement has been resolved by either the regional integration or native sovereignty decisions. We do have an outpost, but we have not yet founded a permanent Vinland colony, which we cannot do that yet because its viability has to get up to 80 and also has been resolved with either the regional integration or native sovereignty decisions, which is the ending of the struggle. So, let's go support this thing. So, there's only 4 ways to support it. So take your pick. Send a small shipment of necessities, which will increase Vinland's viability up by a random amount to 2 if successful. It'll decrease its resilience and networks from Greenland, a random amount to 10 each, regardless of success. This is for party, this is for prestige, and for recruit settlers. This one's random amount up to 4 if successful, but it'll decrease its networks of resilience big time. Same for the other. But knowing on prestige intensive these days, so construct base camps. Frontier stations for trade, exploration, and battle. This is crucial aid for Vinland. Sending aid to Vinland. Our frontier settlements in fabled Vinland are even more remote, even smaller than those of Greenland. As such, they need a lot of support. It is ironic, despite Vinland's bounty, our settlers there rely heavily on shipments and people from Greenland to survive. I have thus sent a ship with supplies and workers for the purpose of constructing some base camps in Vinland. Due to its great distance, Vinland is little explored, and if we were to establish ourselves in that land, we should build little stations along the coastline to provide explorers with a place to repair their ships and tools, rest from traveling, and so on. While our presence in Vinland admittedly puts a heavy burden on our existing Greenland colony, I hope it'll be worth it in the long run. May our ships arrive there swiftly and safely, so this may take a few weeks. Let's hope for the best. Aid arrives in Vinland. Good news. The ships we sent to Vinland arrived there safe and sound. These resources we spent on Vinland have all been wasted. I know there are some who disapprove of my decision to invest in Vinland, believing that Greenland would have been a safer, more logical, and more profitable option. Undoubtedly, many of these naysayers probably feel vindicated by now, especially since we're admittedly straining our Greenland settlements by establishing a presence in Vinland. Let's hope that our efforts not be in vain. Increase by 4 to 23. Its resilience decreased by 17, then decreased by 12 for the networks. So it worked. We're actually doing it. I'm actually smiling. It's like, I cannot believe this is working. We actually established an outpost and we sent aid, and it looks like it'll be a practical investment to there. Who dares? From all the way over there. Who wants to give it to somebody? Yeah, I remembered you. But you wanted to kill him? No. No, 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 no. You don't do that. I think you would be entertained. Alright, that daughter. And keep in mind, Marazakanaji. It shall be your name. Here's another. Dedication of faith. So this, we've seen this event before. A dragon to roar my name and to further increase the diplomacy skill. And now, here's this wrought iron dagger of masterful craftsmanship. Just plain and undecorated, still striking in appearance. I see little use of that, quite honestly. Oh gosh, smallpox. She's gout-ridden and has smallpox, just like the first person. Level of fame impact, which means I will have, you know, more knights, more of our thing. And I would like to become August, and after that we'll switch up to learning and go for scholarship. That reminds me, those in house arrest. Isn't somebody 16 or 17 already? Okay, but can I recruit him? Yes, you can. Unfortunately, he's about to get married, and I would set out to get rid of this person. Yeah, I can break the betrothal. My orders. Good. Now, I know you're scaly, and I don't like to see that, but the low fertility... how's your old lady? They calls her the foreigner. She's doing fine. Okay. This is the only one from my dynasty, I believe, but I assume these other people from that said dynasty. Check the age. I know they're not all closely related, but can I get you at least? So, just wait a few years. I don't think you would like him for being scaly, but we're doing this in the name of the dynasty, and we'll hold one of the Rajas there. See, that is the purpose of it. But can we double check on that? Like, are you sure there's no other single women of adult age? Because I don't think combined reduced fertility will do anyone any good. I mean, she'll get better. Oh, and by the way, before you go anywhere, thank you. Now, there's someone that I would like you to meet. That level of splendor is also what makes it attractive. It's not a good choice, but he's politically important, damn it. When he gets children, it'll be in our dynasty and they're gonna be living over there. And they can convert to Hinduism if they want to. So we can recruit adults. I mean, once they turned 16. You're next. You know, it'll be a long time for you to, before you even. He's next. Yeah. Pretty much it. For reference. It's just I want to protect him at all times. That's how I feel about him. Because you know he's the man that's gonna one day inherit the kingdom whenever he passes on. I mean, the eldest. And I just don't want anything bad to happen to him. Not now. Not ever. He's very valuable, and I'd love to give him a... Actually... Yeah, you could be the chaplain, even though you're a total foreigner, but this is just a way to get you to stick around. And then when it's your time, you can leave. Yes. Wasn't there someone else that I knew? Oh, and by the way, there's smallpox out there. You ought to be careful. Clandestine interest. I do enjoy having a spy network at my disposal. My agents have arranged a sacred meeting between this and I, in which I'll profess my love for Tor. We will go dressed incognito. We will go on foot alone, as to not draw any attention. I'll have agents looking out and taking every step to ensure we have the utmost privacy. I make sure there wasn't, followed by spending a few minutes in the alley keeping lookout, before I make my way to the appointed building. Inside I find Asda's completely nude, covered in oil and eating olives by the fireplace. She says, "You should take off that robe." It appears that my plot has worked. I obey her promptly, and we spent the evening making passionate love. Well, could you try to keep it down? Even though she's a bit of a lunatic, but you're next. Yes. Abandoning Vinland. I received unfortunate news from our family's outpost of Vinland. It appears most settlers of Vinland, not just those who have leached to my family, have abandoned any and all settlements have been established there. There are conflicting reports about why is this. Some settlers place the blame on aggressive native peoples who raided and attacked them. Others claim that due to poor planning, they did not have enough supplies to last a long time. Some back home suspect the settlers lost their willpower to stay, and they realized there was little economic benefit to staying in this remote uncharted region with few valuable resources, lush as it may be. Whatever the cause or causes, this was certainly a setback anyone who wants to settle in a long time. Why is staying in Vinland ever the viable long term? Oh my goodness! Huge drop to its viability. So now we're back to square one. So we can't support it. Maybe we should have sent them supplies. But what else? Now I could see why they warned me. They say, hey, if you try to attempt to build an outpost in Vinland, it's a waste of money. And I guess it is. What they say is true. Just rely on Greenland, okay? And only Greenland. But maybe in future generations we'll give another go to attempt to build another outpost over in Vinland. What's going on down there? Denmark is about to be subjugated. How old are you? 24, okay. Hey, who dares? I mean, I had considered expanding into Denmark, but it's about to be subjugated very soon. Which, of course, once it's subjugated by my vassal, that means parts of it is going to leave Norway, and then we're going to have to deal with that. Which we can subjugate them whenever we wish to. Oh, so she just died recently, last month in fact. And now he's at court in Rungulu. And we can only hope that that they'll not break up this betrothal. Because he just left because, you know, he's far more important over there. And now instead we got this man. Yeah, still way over there. Right then. One setback after another. But I still wait for the outcome of what's going on down there. So I'm not making any moves until this Denmark issue is settled. Hold it right there. She is an heir to something. Can't recruit her yet. I'll shut Devgiri. Yet she's gonna get first coming. What the heck are you running there? Or do you have a... Is that title under equal succession? It is equal. Oh, okay, good. That's good. It's because of that whole Jainism thing they got over there. Okay, then. So, when she grows up, maybe I'll get her betrothed to one of my sons. Or maybe she's the one. You know, the one that will marry probably one of these sons. I mean, for him, gotta keep him purely Norwegian. So I say no to Pratha. What are you talking about? Yeah, Andres. Oh, Cornwall. Yeah, he's a feudal. Yes, yes. And this does not inherit anything. You can go. How should I approach Aldova? She seems like a reserved individual, prefers silence as a companion. At least that's how she appears on the surface. Who knows what sort of person she is at front. Is she meek and submissive, or perhaps passionate and fiery? I have to find out once I breach a stony exterior. I have to decide how to make myself remain in her thoughts after spending some time alone. I'll approach her tenderly as a friend. My antiquarian approached with a big smile on her face, and my excellent crown knows me. My lord, did you know that after so many generations belonging to the community, that this crown is now considered an integral part of the identity of Norda? So you're talking about this crown, but not Svanhild's crown. Wow. This crown's been passed on through several generations with the same title, thus becoming a similar power. Okay, I'll put this on. Fix that. Now this means something. So the excellent crown here is now gains Crown of the People. This crown's been connected for generations to the same title. It is now identified with this ruler of the people. How long has this been around? This was made way back in the days of Esther the Great. Inherited by Thorun. now Torgeir. Getting a moment alone wasn't difficult. However, it turns out the challenging part is having a normal conversation with her. I ask her questions, she replies with the shortest answer she could think of, just to shut down our conversation. It's like pulling an endless amount of teeth. Can't stop thinking that it would get more response than a dead heart from Nova. Great. Sognsdal family on ice. Pa, cries Snorri, tugging at my sleeve as soon as I enter the snowbound courtyard. It's no good. I'm useless. I can't skate. The ice hates me. A speedy glance suggests that he might be right. The place looks like an army's marched through it, with an amount of shattered ice that my son left in its wake. Ah! Because I'm diligent, so I'll say easy. It's easy. Here, let me explain to you. How old are you, son? 3? Since when you can speak like that? Let me explain it to you. So, that prowess and diplomacy will go up by 2 for each of it. So he gains confidence and balance. See, not all hope is lost. Oh, when they're unwavering loyalty. Plus, most of them don't pay taxes. I mean, I'm sure there are those that do, but, you know. Oh, gee. A crimson stain. So Stargate's pale cough. I stared in disbelief, suppressing another cough. Did it? Did I? I wiped my fingers against my lips, my hand trembling as I pulled back. I could feel the warm wetness, but I dread to look. I'm afraid you have contracted consumption, my lord. I will treat you immediately. Oh, that thing isn't fun to have. Despite the fact I have a lot of health benefits these days, so do no more than is necessary. Don't accept it that the best course of treatment would be some rest. She surrounded me in soft pillows and gently tucked me under many layers of blankets. Before she left my chambers, she pulled my curtains shut. It was noon. Some extra sleep turned out to be just what I needed for now, and the worst of my symptoms alleviated and the world seemed a little brighter. There, my health is good. But it does have quite a reduction to the stats, which is no good to anyone. Stop. It's my wife. The drunken antics of my wife's been the subject of court gossip before. My lady seems to have taken him to a whole new level. Getting drunk by mid-morning, passing out in the castle courtyard, stumbling to the tavern in the afternoon, walking up the stables, and the hangover the next day. That is as degenerate behavior as an embarrassment to all those who reside in Trondheim. A stern talking to will set her straight. Heaven forbid that I would have more children with you with that drunken state you're in. But it appears it may not work. It does not change your behavior. 1%! 1%! But regardless, despite my illness, I am now august. He is honored as a true ruler, worthy of the empires of old. Now he should go for scholarship Get scientific, get this, this, and this. That's your priority now. Don't worry about your illness. It ain't gonna kill you anytime soon. My wife heard the young woman before they assembled the court. Glorious coming. Give my preceptor sister Frigg the honor of pouring your refreshments and ensuring their soundness. The position Frigg deserves far more than the ground does. She will not let you down. Sister-in-law. What is it for again? That's common, dummy. Goes with diplomacy. I say she's unsuitable for this position. Best mooring land out of control. They're hanging us, hounding us. We could keep order, my lord. Please, we organize ourselves about all the deaf. The peasant man from West mooring our land. An area plagued by unrest, helped by my vassal. So, he assures me that control can be restored without undue bloodshed. Curious idea. Let's try it. A woman approached my throne. It's clear to commoner. My lord, she begins speech. I represent the local community of Trondheim. In the last few months, our cemetery has been plagued with the disappearance of bodies. All but dug up and left no trace. At first, we feared wild animals or obscure powers of war. Then, your old court physician was caught red-handed hauling the dead away from her experiments. Please put a stop to this blasphemy. Just cut it off. Oh, why did I think of that? Well, it's still going to succeed no matter what. Knowing how much of a loony she is. By the no-near petitioners from the realm have been queuing up lately. This work feels endless. Yet, not everyone steps forward. Evidently distressed merchant of some kind. I'll get to your problems in a few weeks, but you're not important enough to do anything faster. The merchant gulps and blinking rapidly and shot. Was it something I said? It's hard to reduce stress these days. Oh, this can't be good. She's a drunkard, pregnant. That means my child is gonna have some negative traits. You've done it. You've traded places. You were my vassal, and now you've taken it over. And who's your brother-in-law? Was. And not of my dynasty. And what are you doing against Poland? No, Sorbia. A holy war, in fact. Or they're against one of the vassals, or what? Is that it? The Red Clan. That's where it came from. So, my friend, still approached me in private to clear down this. Explains to me that his faith is faltering due to his time spent guarding the border against the colonists and fraternizing with the enemy. Its words are not just. Feels as if the slightest mistake could push him away from Odin. Yet this is an opportunity to strengthen our fervor as well as our relationship. Where are you from? Hey, pick any favor, so as long as you serve me. He chose not to adopt Catholicism for the time being. You got it. Counselor just been assassinated. A Baron Paramount. As I draw close to Dova, I do not know whether to tear the clothes on her body or punch the fearful smile of her face. A challenge. I drag her closer. A fitting pulse. The warring feelings of my chest are echoed by our bodies. And we spend the night delivering both insult and bliss unto each other. Leave me be, hussy. Drowned. But you lived. Egad. Upland. Well, don't you feel stupid now? Oh, I've neglected it big time over there. I am idiot. So he's at court, but again, has that faith? They've not broken up a trouble. There's still time. Hey, you're 16 years old now. We can recruit you now. And also words about faith. Well, don't you worry about that. Here's thing. Come on out. Watch your step now. Oh, there's a problem. He's zealous. Not if I have anything to say about it. By bribing him with a little gold, and then he feels it's the best thing to have happened to him. Okay. Now, need to find you another spouse in the name of our dynasty before you go. Go back to where you once came. Because the one who currently rules Canada is doing fine. And in fact, you're going to have a lot of titles, so this is why I urge you to go find yourself a wife and get lots of children. So you shall have my daughter. Trust me, you'll really like her when you grow up a little. It'll take a while for you to wait, but whenever you return to your own homeland, then you get to have a good time. Unless you are going to be worshipping a religion that allows you to have many wives, and that gives a little opportunity for us to spread the dynasty around. That's the flaw of that. Who else is under house arrest that's deemed important to me? Ah, yes, her. She's next in line. Can't recruit her just yet. Wait 6 years. 6 years. And then I will be married to him. Yes. So at least we got our problems settled. Go support Greenland. Just construct a temple up there. Just for some piety gain, and As the door to the barbering chamber opens, I am not greeted by smiling midwives, but instead Druva Devis, how rich he was. I'm so sorry, my lord, but the midwife does not look at me in her eyes. I was a tiny coward bundle. Your daughter is in Valhalla now. Stillborn. Oh. Want to give it another go? Because I had plans to seduce you too. I mean, yeah, it's a pretty, stupid thing to say, but what are you gonna do? Excellent. Now he's a proper Danish. Three years. Gets any planning? Huh, what? Oh, he's already left here. But glad he's been betrothed in time. So now he's a baron. And he is at war. I mean, I wish I could help you, but it's too far away for any contact. And I hope that man up there. Again, it's like he may have this ability, but he's going to inherit a lot more than that. And I don't care if he reconverts his faith back to the way it was, but as long as it's locked on the patrol, then send it there. All we need is to give it a couple more years, and then we got it. Let's go work off some stress. Hey, wait a minute. You're the heir to stop me? I have no child yet. Huh. That means eventually we're going to have somebody in our dynasty be living there, unless... No, not unless. Yes, unless. I don't know. I'm kind of, big on the whole inheritance thing and spread the dynasty, and I've become intensive with that. I just want to make sure that everything happens smoothly as it should. Again, we'll end this episode soon. It's just, okay, he's gone away. For him, he's gone back to his home, as he's the son of the Maharaj. And I will not interfere in his affairs any longer. He's the eldest, I can only wish him good fortune. Life read for him, so he's going to be around longer, which means more time for, child to be raised, even though she's not, closely related, but just hope that the dynasty will spread to there. Even though it may cause a bit of instability, but can only hope that they'll grow up to become Hindus and all that. I'm just finishing up the day in my council chambers when my wife met Saunders with her sister Frege. She is eagerly at her heels. I put down a ledger just reading, knowing no good can come from this unexpected visit. Vidas hesitantly remarks upon the room's furnishings. Don't these spare stone walls drive you at least a bit mad? I know what this room needs. Tapestries. My sister is excellent with a needle and a thread. Sponsor her and see how her creation will improve her mood. And I was about to say, why are you wearing armor? You're not a shield maiden. Big copy. Oh! I see, the Khazars have an equal, so women are allowed to serve in the military. I didn't know that. I didn't know you are over there. Yeah. Go ahead. Now she no longer serves in the army. But she'll one day return to these Khazar lands. She's a bold fool. Give it here. What will it take? Oh, I know what will it take. Money always matters. A little bit of bribery will give you a chance to lay with her, and I want to lay with her now. I will say her irresistible charisma. Probably not going to work. Oh, it does. Those bastards. Here's the daughter. Pose an alliance. And not, you're an independent realm? Yeah, sure. Yeah, maybe there. Oh, baby, scrub a little milk cocoa. There's no end to the tears. I desperately want the midwife to ease my worries, but the third problem makes everything worse. The little lady's not getting what she should. Take good care of her. Oh, but in the end, lies in Nonia's hands. Sickly. $20 months. And 28 years for the other. My background gives me some unique insights. But you know what, I think we should end the episode right now. Man, everybody wants to meet, but I must decline. No need for dedication. Please stop right now. I know we've been at peace throughout this whole episode, and we've been focused on the Vinland thing, which now, that expedition turned out to be a big failure. But I'm in a mood for, you know, to fight a future conflict. So, I thought about getting Denmark for myself. I don't need Pomerania, just want Denmark. Get Denmark, and it'll be part of this Scandinavian Union that we're trying to form here. And maybe I would also include the Sapmi realm as well for all of this. And possibly more. So I hope you people have enjoyed this episode, but until then, so long for now.